Welcome back to the Foundry, or the roof of the Foundry to be exact. So what am I doing up here? Wasn't I just up here a couple of weeks ago? The answer is yes, but I'm excited to be up here this time. Why? Am I a glutton for punishment? Partially true, yes, but that's not why I'm up here. I finally found somebody to paint this monstrosity of a roof. So this is kind of a part two. Part one would have been, let's see, what was that video called? Roof work at the Foundry. Check that out. And I mentioned in there that my springtime project was going to be to have this roof coated. I'm up here now. I've got like a day and a half to get this roof prepped for when they come and shoot it. We're kind of getting in early spring. It's fairly warm. In fact, the day they're going to spray it, it's going to be like the high 73. So I think it's going to be perfect. And I just wanted to get up here and get some prep work done, because the outfit I'm using, they're not real big on that. I'll explain that later. But they're really good at what they do, supposedly. We're going to find out. I'm going to give them a shot. Can't afford not to, because I talked to local contractors. These guys aren't local, the guys that are coming. Talked to local contractors, and talked to three of them, 3 different outfits, and none of them were excited about doing the job. 2 of them wouldn't come bid it. They said they would and didn't show up. And then, which in that previous video, you already know how I feel about contractors. But a contractor actually found me, and through a friend of mine, gave him my number. He knew I was looking for somebody to do this, and they're actually not local. They're in the area doing a couple other big jobs, and he said while they're down here, they normally probably wouldn't come down here just for one job, but while they're here, they go ahead and pick mine up too. And the price is phenomenal. It's almost scary phenomenal, but they have a lot of material purchased in bulk. And like I said, they're coming off these other jobs, so I think it was just right place, right time kind of deal. We got this warm spell coming through, so I think the weather's going to cooperate, even though it is February. Typically not when you would want to coat a roof, but you know, it's going to be in the low 70s, high 60s. That's not bad. I think it's going to be fine. So let me tell you a little bit about the prep work I'm doing and what type of coating I decided to go with. Let me show you a little bit about your 2 most typical coating options that you can do on an old roof like this. We have an example of the 2 different coatings here. The first 20 feet of this roof, when I moved in, I had them coated because the office is under there, and I wanted to make sure I didn't have any leaks. And this side is a fibered aluminum asphalt based paint, and this side is just asphalt based aluminum paint. There's no fiber in it. Now this side I'm actually not impressed with. Well, first of all, they didn't put it on right. They brushed it on, which that's fine, but you have to mix the paint very well. They did not do that, because you have sections here where there's very little fiber. Then you got huge glops of it right here, and this stuff is flaking up everywhere. Rust is already this is the good side. I'll show you the bad side in a second. So then on this side, we have the same type of paint minus the fiber. This was done a long time ago, like maybe 40 years ago. Now I've put new skylights in, but this is a very old roof coating, and it held up very well. And the good thing about it, and the reason I'm going back with this type of paint, is because the prep work to get the roof ready with this type of paint having been on it before is going to be so much less time consuming than this, because this dried up and hardened very hard, and it is flaking. I'll show you the other side here in a second. You'll see. Well, I'm just going to show you right now. How about that? All right, so here's the bad side. And this is what's known in the industry as an abomination, and it is flaking like absolute crazy. The flakes are all over where this fibered crap was put on. This has to be wire brushed. You cannot paint over flakes and expect it to hold up. Now this side, in contrast, the flaking's not nearly as bad. Now it's flaking too, but it's just not as bad. This was the stuff without the fiber. And I'm gonna wire brush it too, but it won't take nearly as long as scraping up all this mess. So that is why I decided to go with the non-fibered roof coating. I think we're gonna do all right with it. We're gonna give it a shot. I may very well regret it. I will readily admit if it doesn't work out the way I wanted it to. I'll readily own up to that. But given the cost factor and the overall cost benefit analysis that I did on it, I don't see how I can go wrong. But I've been wrong before, so we're just gonna have to find out, because I'm ready to take the gamble, and I'm excited to get this done because I have other remodeling projects in mind for inside that I've been wanting to do for a long time. But this roof was really eating away at me, because I priced getting that paint. These guys are doing this job. They're providing the labor, equipment, materials, paint, everything for less than I could buy just the paint for. And that's largely because this contractor is not a general contractor. Roof coating is all they do. They live and breathe it. They have all the equipment. They do it every day. As such, they buy the paint in such large quantities, they're able to get a pretty darn good deal on it. Now that, and they don't have the overhead that a lot of larger companies have, so they can do the job a little more affordably for normal folks like me. So I don't know, I'm gonna be the guinea pig. A couple friends of mine, they kind of need some roof work done, and I was telling them about these guys, and they're like, well, we're gonna see how yours turns out, and if we like it, maybe we'll have them come do our stuff. So I'll be the guinea pig, ready to get it done so I can move on to other parts of the Foundry. And we're just gonna see how it goes. Now let me show you this neat little brush I got. Now when I say little, I'm not exaggerating. This is a wire brush, screws onto a broom handle. And it's all I could find. Well, I found some online that were 12 inch. This is 7. I found some online that were 12 inch. But they were $100 for just a brush head. You didn't get no handle, you didn't get no, it was $100 for a brush head. That was unacceptable. Went down to Home Depot, found these. They were $7.99 or something. So I bought like 5 of them and 2 handles. And this is what I'm going to use to kind of prep the roof a little bit. Got this side pretty well scraped and brushed. Before I get too carried away on the other side, I wanted to show you something. This will be the last time anybody sees the old Foundry letters on the roof. They painted the roof with their logo here. So when you go over this bridge, which is a main road in town, it's a very busy road, you'll see it. And the Foundry was a staple of the community for 100 years. And this is the original building. And it's been coated several times over the years. I don't know when the last time it was when this was painted. A long time ago. But anyway, El Dorado Foundry Machine and Supply Company. It's pretty neat. This will be the last time. I mean, everybody growing up crossing that bridge, they saw El Dorado Foundry up here. And day after tomorrow, it's going to be gone. Well, I mean, the building's not going to be gone, hopefully, but the logo is going to be gone. And yeah, it's kind of sad, but you know, I mean, what option do I have? It's either that or let the tin rust to the point of worthlessness, and then it has to be re-roofed altogether. And you know, yeah, so we're going to paint it. But I just wanted you to see this before it was gone forever. Well, the contractors got started. They started maybe 20 minutes ago, and he's almost done with the first pass. It's pretty impressive. The paint has got quite a bit of aluminum content, so it's extremely bright. I imagine he's wearing sunglasses or something, because I don't know if it's coming across on the camera, but from here I can't even look at it with my bare eyes. It's so reflective. So anyway, we'll see what it looks like when they finish up. They got some pretty neat little rigs over there, pumps in the backs of them trucks, They run at a really low RPM, they're actually pretty quiet. And he's just steadily painting away. I can't really get anywhere where I can see good, but there's two guys, one on each side, and man, they're knocking it out pretty darn fast. I don't know how many coats they're going to do. A little bit windy today, so he's holding that wand close. So I pulled all my vehicles down here at the neighbors. Try to keep overspray off of them. I told my buddies up the street, so they got all their vehicles moved. Well, them boys got done pretty quick. I think they did this whole project. They did a little bit on the awning over there too, I'll show you. And I think it was like less than 2 hours. They just really knocked it out, and I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, he said it would look like new tin when they got done with it. It does, it shines. And they put in the gutters real good for me, pretty thick, because I was having some rust problems. I had him spray up on this building a little bit as well, because this was starting to rust. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. Man, that looks good. Very uniform. This side turned out really good too, and this was the bad side. And I spent 2 nights up here scraping and brushing and doing the prep work. And some of it may have been overkill, but I just wanted it to, you know, last as long as possible. But I'm very, for the money, I'm very happy. And I'm super glad to get this done. You can see I got my air conditioner unit tarped up because I didn't want any overspray in it, but he did real good around it and got underneath it and everything. And it all looks very uniform, like it's supposed to. You can tell a little bit of a difference. That last 20 feet down there is where they had applied that fibered paint like 8-9 years ago. So it looks a little different in consistency, but that's to be expected. So, you know, I don't see why this wouldn't last 3 to 5 years and look pretty good. And then, you know, I could probably get a few more years after that with a little rust showing here and there or whatever. But like I said, for the money, I'm very happy. I've dealt with a lot of contractors, and these guys really did good, and I feel like they didn't charge me enough. I give them a little tip, but they got in here and got it done quick, and it's pretty much exactly what I was ooh, man, I almost misstepped. It was exactly the results I was after. We'll just see how long it lasts. Maybe better than I was expecting, I don't know. But anyway, that's the end of this little deal. Oh, I want to show you the awning over here. Had a little piece done over there. It was a disaster. It was so rusty, there were pinholes in places, and I got him go ahead and hit that for me while he was here, so we'll check that out real quick. This was an unmitigated disaster. The rust was so bad, there were pinholes in it in a few places, and I thought it was a lost cause. I was just gonna have them put new tin up here whenever I got a chance, but I figured, heck, while he's here, might as well hit it. And he put 2 good coats on it. In fact, they just left, so I mean, it's not even dry. As it dries, the aluminum will kind of come up through that asphalt, or it seems to, from what I've observed. But yeah, this will save me, because you see that bridge up there, you see those kids in that school bus looking at my roof and they're scrutinizing it. And so I wanted to look, this is the side you see from the main road, so the whole thing, it really looks good. Very happy with it. So anyway, glad to get this project done, and I'm moving on to some interior remodeling in the office, and I'll see you guys in the next one.